Hi, Jen here. Sorry, and I'm here to do the July reading for Taurus. So if you have Taurus in your chart, sun, moon, or rising, or if you're just cross-watching because you know a Taurus, of course you're welcome to stay. I'm going to go ahead and pull 3 cards. Recent past, present energy, and what's coming towards you. And then we'll go ahead and pull some clarifiers, and if we need to dive a little bit deeper, we'll go ahead and do that as well, okay? We won't leave any cliffhangers here. So let's go ahead and get these cards shuffled and see what we have for Taurus for July 2024. Let's see. July 2024 for Taurus. Recent past. Ace of Swords, okay? Present energy, judgment, what's coming towards you. The Devil, don't be scared. Underneath the Ace of Swords, you have the Four of Wands. Underneath Judgment, you have King of Swords. And underneath the Devil, you have the Fool, new beginning, okay? So give me 1 second here. I'm going to go ahead and tap in. Give me 1 second. So in the recent past, you have the Ace of Swords. Right underneath, you have the Four of Wands. What I'm getting from this, it could have been a new approach, a new thought process. You know, for an example, it's like, okay, I want to do things this way now. Or maybe, you know, you decided with another person, let's do things this way now. And it was just definitely a time for celebration. This can also have to do with if it was like a wedding or some sort of like a party that you attended and you got a new idea, just that as an example, but it just really gave you a new idea. Okay, Ace of Swords is about new thoughts, perspective, justice as well. So, you know, in the recent past, you definitely got a new idea or just a new thought process, and it really got you excited about it. Okay, definitely something that was celebrated, something you wanted to try. In the current energy, you have Judgment and King of Swords. Judgment, you know, it's a major arcana, and it's definitely a wake-up call. It's definitely the final decision as well. This, you know, this can have to do with courts. King of Swords, this is someone who's a logical thinker. He doesn't really think with his heart. He thinks logically, okay? He goes with the facts, okay? He does not really go with, I mean, everyone uses, you know, their intuition and they follow their heart, but this King of Swords, he kind of leaves his emotions on the shelf and he thinks logically. Okay, so there is definitely a situation here where it's like the final call, final judgment call. This is what it is. This is the judgment, and it's done with a more logical approach rather than an emotional approach. Okay, and what I kind of see here, the pattern is that that logical thinking is kind of transitioning in, you know, in the recent space here, in the recent energy. Okay, so it could be you know, a court decision. It can be just a general decision in life where it's like, okay, this is where it was born, but now this is what it is. This is concrete. This is what I'm going with. This is what it is. You know, what's coming towards you is the Devil and the Fool. I'm definitely going to get a clarifier about that, because the Devil is about toxicity. It's about bad habits. It can be trauma bonds. It can be, you know, codependency, things of that nature. Very draining energy. The thing about the Devil energy, and why I never want anyone to be afraid about it, is that because these two individuals, and it could be a bond between you and someone else, where, you know, they do have the chains, okay, and they are it looks like they're being manipulated by this entity, this negative energy, but they do have the capacity to release themselves from it. Okay, this can be you, another person, it can be you and another person, or just the overall energy of the card where you feel restricted, or you feel as if there's this hold on you, but it's like, it's self-victimization. You can break yourself out of that, and I think, you know, you do, because the Fool energy is about a new approach, and it's a more lighter approach. It's you know, the Fool is very, he takes that leap of faith. Okay, he's embarking on this new journey. It's the first card in the major arcana card, you know, and it's kind of like a fresh new approach on things. It's a fresh new beginning. After the Judgment, it's definitely what I like to call kind of not a second chance, but it's kind of, it's just starting all over again. Okay, it's starting all over again with a new approach, just completely oblivious. And I know that may sound, like it may come off in the word the fool. Sometimes being the fool, babies can, they say that God takes care of babies and fools, and that's because sometimes when you release so much control, or you release a mindset and you just kind of go with the flow, when babies or kids are doing things, they're not really second guessing things too much. Okay, they're just enjoying life. Okay, if they're doing something that we might particularly look at as dangerous, they don't look at it that way. They're just having fun with it. Okay, so I think with the fool, underneath the devil, I think you could potentially be letting go some thought processes, some trauma binds, some toxicity, maybe even a toxic relationship, and just unbounding yourself from that, because you can. There's really nothing holding you, and it's self-victimization. It's not really. And I think it does come after this judgment call, this wake-up call. Okay, that I need to do things differently here. Okay, I need to unbound myself. I need to realize where the self-victimization is coming from and unchain myself from these chains, because ultimately it is a negative energy. It's low vibration. That's the general energy of the devil. But with the fool underneath, it's definitely a 360. It's completely opposite to that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get a clarifier here. Let's see, let me get a clarifier for the judgment and the fool. I actually like those two cards together because it's actually giving you a second chance, and it actually does show wake up calls can be kind of tough. Okay, sometimes we don't want to admit certain things, or it comes at like the worst time possible, and it's like, oh my god. But when we deal with them, it's definitely a time to really self-reflect, take accountability as well. And with that fool, having that new approach, that fresh new approach, that new beginning, because that's what the fool is. I think it's absolutely wonderful. Let's see what we have. Yeah, Queen of Wands. Okay, this is fire energy, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. This Queen of Wands is very passionate. Okay, they are going to encourage you. They're a cheerleader for goals. Okay, they're never boring. They live their life on the edge. Very motivating. And I think for some of you, you could be, if this is someone in your energy that's maybe encouraging you to take a different approach, or if this is your energy where it's like, this goes beautifully with the Fool card, because she's like the life of the party. It's like, okay, yeah, whatever you want to do, it's definitely giving a lighter approach, and kind of like, how can I say this? Definitely a feeling of not taking things so serious. Okay, that kind of approach, whether it's you, the energy of the card, or someone in your life, but very motivating. Okay, as far as the Judgment and the King of Swords, we have here the Five of Wands. So there's definitely a wake-up call, a judgment call, and it has to do with maybe some disagreements that occurred, conflict, struggles, misunderstandings, fights. And it's like, right now in the current energy, and if it doesn't happen now because timing is fluid, there's definitely something that's going to happen where it's like, okay, enough. Okay, the universe is definitely going to set in the intention of, this is it. Okay, this is the final, this is the last draw, this is the last call, this is the wake-up call. So if it's a situation at work where things have just been brewing up, things are definitely going to shift out of that energy. It could be with a King of Swords. This is air energy, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, that could be stepping in, but definitely some truths coming out. Definitely this is like the tip of the iceberg, and it's like, if it gets resolved now. Okay, and it's definitely the theme of Saturn retrograde, because Saturn retrograde is definitely about having to face things that have been swept under the rug for so long. Different fantasies, illusions, just things that you know, even things that people have been getting away with for a long time, really now is the time to really face those things, okay? And it's not for everyone. Some people might feel it more subtly or more intensely, depending on, where it is in your chart. But the overall energy of Saturn retrograde is really allowing you to grow, okay? This is the time. This is also karma as well. It's just whatever was swept under the rug, it's really gonna be addressed right now. Resolutions, I wouldn't particularly look at it as a scary moment. I mean, if you've been handling things the best you can, then now is really the time when things are really going to unravel and kind of sort themselves out how they need to be sorted out, okay? If you haven't been doing things, up to par, then, for some of you, this is the wake up call that's coming, and sometimes we need that wake up call to really kind of align us back again into balance, okay? So let me get one more. Page of Cups. This is an offer. If it has to do with romance, a new love, okay? This can even be a second chance for some of you to get it right with your spouse, or if, like I said, if this has to do with work, and things are going on, this is like the chance to get those things sorted out. Page of Cups is definitely, that energy of outgoing, friendly. I really like to consider the Page of Cups as an empath. This person understands emotions. This person has an interest in people and bonds and relationships. This person comes in with an open heart as well. So if there has been something going on in a particular area of your life, whether it's work or family or relationships, where things have just been like, maybe you tried to do things one way and, that was the intent, but it just somehow trickled and it did not work out. This is like the final call. This is the final judgment call. This is the wake up call. This is the last chance to get things right, okay? This is the time to let go any toxicity, any victim, mentalities, any bad habits, anything that's draining. Now is the time that it's going to happen. And it really is going to give you an opportunity to start off fresh with that Fool card, with a new approach, with a more outgoing and friendly approach. You're going to be more interested in, people and bonds and relationships, and figuring out what's for you, what's not, what's draining, what's not. This is really the time to sort out, those areas in your life that have been swept under the rug and just been carrying on throughout the day. But it's like, okay, it needs to be talked about now, okay? It can't go on anymore. I'm going to go ahead and pull an oracle card here to close this out. But, quite a few signs have gotten some heavy readings regarding kind of sorting things out, and it kind of reminds me of retrograde, but not in that sense where things from the past are coming back. It's more so things that have been swept under the rug, things that people have been getting away with. On the flip side of things, those positive things where people feel as if they haven't been getting a break, now they're getting a bone thrown at them, things of that nature. Very, very karmic energy, okay? And very pretty much a time to sort those things out, and really get to the root cause of any issues and get to the bottom of it. Definitely an energy of wake up call for the majority of the signs here. So let's see what I have to close this out. And what I have for you is, you must forgive if you want to be free. Do it for yourself. I think this really resonates with this entire reading, okay? You must forgive if you want to be free. Do it for yourself, okay? So if there are things that you were holding on to that maybe you haven't forgiven yourself or other people, now's the time to do it, okay? Like I said, the Page of Cups, the Fool, and the Queen of Wands, I love these three energies together, okay? This person is outgoing. This Page of Cups here is an empath, very into those relationships. With the Devil up here again, just letting go of that toxicity, whatever's draining you, and kind of realizing that, although it may feel like this this negative energy is over you, you have the ability to shift out of that yourself. You can unchain yourself. The chains are loose, okay? He might seem like he has control. The devil might seem like he has control, but he really doesn't, okay? It's a state of mind. You have to shift yourself out of that, okay? And you can do it. And this can even be through meditation, shadow work, you know, intention, things of that nature. There are some things that happen or are happening that's causing some, you know, some fights and some conflict and some struggles. And this is like the wake-up call. This is the final judgment, okay? King of Swords is logical. It's about truth coming out, okay? So that's what I have for you, Taurus. And if any of these messages resonated in any way, shape, or form, you already know what to do. Like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, take care. Bye-bye.